All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Live SEO Support, your favorite live stream SEO stream. We stream, you stream, we all stream for
SEO
ice
cream.
stream cream.
You're gonna scare a few people away from this show, I think, Christopher.
Hey man, I was just going off the top of my head. I won't improvise anymore, all right?
I don't know where your brain's at, but it reminds me of that
Ice
post that
cream,
Kim put up the other day.
ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Oh, I know.
Anyway.
Yes, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, man, what's up? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well. I didn't sleep as much as I would have liked to last night. So I felt a little groggy this morning, but I think I'm just gonna go about my day per usual. Hit the gym after this, come back, put some posts up, and finishing up a few other things that I got going. But yeah, should be. Allergies been killing me the last few days here, so I'm a little bit agitated with that, and I feel like working out kind of helps clear it out, you know?
Nice. If you guys didn't know, Nick had his 37th birthday yesterday. He's a big boy now. He is pretty wealthy. He's single, and he's also ready to mingle.
Oh, yes, definitely rectangle now. No more keeping that in the closet. If you've got a sister, cousin,
Ooh,
auntie, something fun,
dangerous.
wants to get out, party with a young buck that feels youthful and full of energy, then go ahead and give us a call.
You do look more full of energy. What's going on with that?
I drank a little pre-workout this morning since I was feeling groggy. And
Man.
so,
So you're sitting there like in the morning, pre-workout upped, and I'm like sitting here like falling asleep, ready to go to bed at
Yeah,
night.
yeah, maybe we should switch it up here and there just to change the energy levels from time to time.
Good stuff. All right.
Either that or you just start partying at like 8 p.m. your time and we just kind of see how it goes, you know?
Not in my old age, man. I guess I'm not as old as you yet, though, but coming soon.
It's coming.
All right, let's go ahead and just jump into stuff. We got a bunch of audits still to get to. Um, so we'll start doing that. Maybe we can knock one out real quick. We're not going to do a 45-minute audit like we did the last time. We probably should like, try to
I,
keep an eye on time when we're doing
I'm
these
gonna set a
things.
timer for 25 minutes, 20
Okay.
minutes, 25.
Well, here, don't start it quite yet.
Okay,
Um, we'll start getting it set up, and then you can.
sorry.
I'm gonna go ahead and message you. I don't think we've done this one already, but let me know if you think we have. One second, ladies and gentlemen, just pulling it up in Ahrefs and I'm gonna give you guys something to look at while we are auditing.
Pete, that was supposed to say what's up, my man, but I messed it all up. So,
Nick's really bad at computers. He's 37 years old. He's a boomer,
for those of
literally.
you that don't know, we talk about it here and there, but I was like 26 or 27 before I started attempting to get good on the computer. So, for those of you that feel like maybe you're struggling a little bit or anything, trust me, if I could do it from the Neanderthal kind of past that I had with computers from 26, 27 up, anybody can do it. I was telling that to a kid at the gym the other day. Like, I was trying to explain to him why he wants to be on WordPress, and he's like, well, I don't know if I can really do that. I'm like, you can. You just jump on
You
YouTube.
social little Sally. What are
Oh,
you doing?
I'm social now, bro. I talk to everybody because I realized, that's the best way to get past stuttering like an idiot when you talk to a chick in public. So, I had to make a lot of mistakes on my way back up. I'm not up yet. Let's be real
He's at the
there.
top now, boys. Flying high.
Woo!
All right. Here, let me get the. Let's see what they said about this one. Let me make sure they didn't put anything important here. Um,
And no, we haven't done this one.
Okay, I don't think there's anything sensitive in the little message they sent. I'll go ahead and throw this up. It's a long one. All right, here we go. Site audit. Getting started with an audit. And yeah, I'll have that for you to look at in a minute. All right, here we go. I sent you a comment on YouTube and you asked me to send you your info here. All right. I have a new site I started last year in March. Okay, so it's basically a year old. However, I was in a Google business domain, so I decided to buy a domain name in November, December. Okay, so the site's not very old. It's like a month old or something.
Yeah, it looks new.
I hired someone on Fiverr to make the website. I thought it would come with content. It did not. I mean, if that's not necessarily the worst thing. You don't really want the Fiverr guy writing all the content for your website. I wouldn't think.
My guess is they're just throwing it in Chat GPT now or something comparable.
Yeah, even if they weren't, I mean, it's a bit more, the content is like SEO, but in building the website's kind of pretty basic. It's just get a normal site up and running. Anyway, did not come with content, so I had to do all the content myself. I would just like some tips on how I can get it ranked for local maps and organic. Okay, so it's a local site. I have done 80 citations through Bright Local, though many did not show on Google yet. Let's see, let me get rid of some of this. Sorry guys, 1 second. All right. So 80 citations through Bright Local, although not many show on Google yet. I made the mistake and hired someone on Fiverr for a few backlinks. We get people that say this all the time when they come to us for link building stuff. Anyway,
we all started on Fiverr, so don't worry about it.
I used your platform for some social signals. I'm currently ranked 4th on the map pack because of the geographical location of my business. The competition in spot 3 is new as well. He is just closer to town. Is it possible to beat them out with the location? I tried my hand at a few blog posts, but I don't think the quality is very good. Okay, so yeah, sounds like you're kind of just getting started here, right? 80 citations, I wouldn't worry about them showing up on Google. They're citations. You can't screw a citation up if you're just putting your like NAP in there and filling out the business description and stuff. Don't worry about it. I made the mistake and hired someone for Fiverr. Okay, so you might have got some bad backlinks from Fiverr. We'll go ahead and check that out and see what's going on there. It's not the end of the world. You just started the site, and Google's pretty good at ignoring crap these days, but we'll see what you did. But it's probably not the end of the world. You just haven't been buying bad backlinks for a very long time, so it's easier to fix it at this point. Currently ranked 4th on MapPack, which is not bad. I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you'd want to be top 3, right? But yeah.
But with that new, being that new, and
yeah.
I'm guessing you're kind of writing this content that's going in there if it didn't come with content.
Yeah, he said he's writing all the content, but he doesn't really know what he's doing, and he doesn't think it's very good.
It looks okay actually. There's some tips that we got for you, but
let's see what else he says here. So the one thing I'll say before we get started is you're talking about your competitor in spot 3. We're not big local SEO guys, but we do know a little bit, and I think Nick's still doing a little bit of local. But the way
I'll still mess with it.
The way MapPack works, and it's going more and more this way, is it's getting more and more important of like where the actual location is and where the searcher is searching from. How close, like the proximity is like super important for ranking. And I'm not professional enough to really know much of a way around that, and I don't even really know if there is one. I know that all the big local guys I've seen are all been like complaining Basically saying that this sucks because they can't, just do all the crap they were doing before and get away with ranking, far away. Google wants to show people stuff that's close to where they're searching from. It makes sense, right? So yeah, there's that. But we'll see if it's
So
possible, and we'll
before
see how things are going. What's up?
well, I was just going to say before I forget, because something kind of popped into my mind. If proximity is going to be, that valuable, then ultimately, when you're looking for an address, for your business, or and of course, I'm thinking about this from standpoint of like an SEO, then I would get an address that's in the center of the proximity with the highest traffic volume, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then that could increase competition, so something to consider.
So first of all, I just want to say your site is very small. It's got 6 URLs indexed on Google right now.
Right.
I would definitely keep adding to the website. It looks like probably not all of it is indexed. Yeah, it looks like he's got some new blog posts going up within the past month or so. So those are probably taking a little bit longer to index. But yeah, keep going, keep adding to the site. You know, yeah, because just 6 URLs index is a pretty dang small site, and I kind of want to beef that up. It's gonna make everything easier. I don't see any locations pages. Maybe he's just ranking the
Yeah.
home page.
And then yeah. So there's a few things on page since I've been looking over here. One of them is on the blog oh, it is there. Never mind. It's just invisible. The header menu. Um,
On your home page, homie, go ahead and change your H1, get a keyword in there.
yeah, not logo. That's what's showing up in Google as well.
Uh,
Plat.
so your H1 on each page is like your most important thing, like actual on the page as far as on-page SEO goes. Of course, like the URL and like the title are important as well, like the title that shows up on the SERP, the meta title. But the H1 is like, the looks like the title on the page, and it's really important to get your main keywords in there if possible. You might want to check out our on-page basics article. If you just Google Sir Links-a-Lot on-page SEO, it's the only article we have on on-page SEO. And it'll tell you like the most important stuff that you absolutely gotta do.
Yeah, there's no interlinking.
And that's huge.
At least in these blog articles I'm looking at. That's going to help get some of these pages indexed, I would imagine. For the services page, you have services set up as one page that's broken down into all the main things that y'all will do. However, what I would do is I would
Just
go
walls
into
of
each of
text.
those individual SERPs, yeah, and I would check if it's an individual page that ranks there in that SERP, or whether it's kind of like a hub page like this. My guess is typically you want your services pages to be one page per service, right? And then, like Chris said, the same thing for your locations.
Well, he might.
So even if you've only got one,
I think he's just trying to rank his
you're
homepage for
saying
the
the
location.
homepage?
So just optimize the homepage for the location.
Sure.
It should be fine. But yeah, very good thing. Very good call out with the services. Definitely split those up. Probably, well, do what Nick said. Look at the SERPs first. Make sure they should go on separate pages. But I'm feeling like they most likely
chances
will.
are that's yeah.
And yeah, interlinking is huge, huge, huge. Definitely do not sleep on interlinking. I've seen like massive results from just adding like more interlinking to stuff. Some smart use of anchor text. Not really seeing interlinking anywhere, except for this contact page.
Yeah, I think honestly, between interlinking, if this is a really low competition metro, which I think it is, interlinking, working on those services pages, splitting them up, I think could give you a pretty solid advantage
For sure.
on page wise.
Yeah, if you just go in, optimize the homepage better, split up those services pages, keep adding to your blog, get some interlinking going throughout your whole site, including your blog, but not just your blog. I mean that all that stuff alone is gonna be I think a pretty big deal for you. Um,
Something else that I feel like we've probably never talked about, but I was just thinking about it, is syndicate your blog posts to, GMB and other socials. Because if I look up your brand, um,
yeah, I don't see any
you kind of want to
socials on
see
here.
some of that stuff coming up. Yeah. So if you haven't gone that route, like you've done citations, etc., then that would be advantageous as
Yeah,
well.
get on
Get your
Facebook, get
socials,
on
get your
YouTube, get
GMB,
on Instagram, link them all on your website, get some posts on each one rolling.
share
You
stuff.
can just, anytime
Yeah.
you post on your website, you can just post it on everything, just get it all, and links going everywhere, from all of them to each other and stuff, and each post having links back to your site and everything. It's just really good practice.
Ties the room. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and go back over to
So
the off page. Do you have anything else you wanted to say about the website?
no, I think that covers it
Okay.
really.
All right, so
And we've got 6 minutes to go for
we got this
25.
because there's not much here.
Yeah, I think so too.
So
Yeah.
off page, no traffic quite yet, less than one a month. Organic keywords 3, referring domains 99, which is kind of crazy considering it's a service-based company in a small metro. DR 59.
Yeah, pretty
What
crazy.
is going on
Whatever link
here?
blast he got from Fiverr includes some .gov
Yeah, I
links and
didn't look in
stuff
there.
like that. So I think that's what I looked at it too, and I was like, "What the fuck
So
is going
yeah,
on
whatever
here?"
you whatever
Yeah.
you ordered, they basically they pumped the crap out of your DR, man. That's
That
amazing.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like
You
the
should just sell guest
service
posts on this site.
seems kind of cool. Where I think you kind of messed up with your order, because technically you could have done this and considered it pillow linking. But you got a little aggressive, overly aggressive with your anchors. So you did a good amount of naked URL, but then we jump into some money keywords using pillow
Mm,
style links, which is not
yeah, no, he's got a
advisable.
ton of exact match up
Um,
here.
yeah, so I wouldn't fret about that. However, I would change what I'm doing as far as link building from here on out with my anchors, and I'd get a little bit more conservative with
Yeah,
things.
so start using
Yeah.
branded anchors. You like where's your
Hmm.
branded anchors? I don't see any. There's no anchor text for the
None.
name of your company. It's all this exact match and then just the URL. So
Yeah.
start building a ton of branded anchors. Um, you can do more URL anchors if you want without like the HTTP, of course. Not really seeing any much of that. Um,
We've got some
branded
randoms,
URL,
which is
what
good.
miscellaneous anchor. He's got some miscellaneous in there, which is good. You can do some like long tail stuff and just kind of topical stuff. Like, it could be like in the name of your town. Just stuff that's not really a keyword, but you can get like location kind of relevance in there or niche relevance in there without it being a keyword, if you know what I mean. You can just like add extra words and just stuff you're not
Hmm.
really targeting. I really like to do a lot of that kind of stuff as well. Um, but yeah, you got to diversify these anchors because things are looking pretty. This is very aggressive right now. Um, Definitely not the greatest start. So what he's got going on in backlinks. Um, awesome. We got foreign stuff in here. We got gov stuff in here. So
Yeah.
yeah,
For a local
not
site, you picked a service that really blew you out internationally with some foreign.gov sites, etc. Again, don't freak out about it. Not the best recourse of action. If you're trying to do local, we always
because I got some
advise look at your
PBNs in
competitors.
there on like
Yeah,
weird
yeah, yeah.
TLDs.
I'm guessing it was one of those we'll do your SEO backlinking campaign for 1 month
We'll get you a DR60
things.
site in 1 week.
Yeah. Honestly, that is probably one of the better manipulations I think I've ever seen with a cheap link
Before you get
blast
confused though,
manipulating
not
Ahrefs.
so he's talking about just manipulating the Ahrefs number. So Ahrefs now
Ahrefs,
says your
right.
DR is super high. Google, on the other hand, obviously does not like this. They're not
Well,
rewarding you, at least yet.
yeah.
It could work for a little bit, but you're gonna want to clean this up. You're gonna want to diversify. Would you recommend disavowing, or would you just keep going?
Nah. Nah, I'd just keep going. I'd get more conservative with my anchors. I'd do only high quality links from here on out.
Homepage only for
Um,
now.
but if I'm being completely honest as well, uh, I would probably just hop on and fix all that on-page stuff as quickly as possible, tie the room together with my socials, and I wouldn't be surprised if in a metro like this you already start beating out competitors. At that point, like, once you're done with that stuff, go ahead, or I guess at the same time, you could put in an order, like a small order for high quality guest posts or niche edits or something like that.
This is awesome. They've created. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. So start building normal links. Don't worry about disavowing quite yet. If you're not seeing any kind of movement for like a few more months or something, you might want to start considering a disavow from the Fiverr stuff. But for now, you can just move forward. Natural links, link to your homepage only. Talking about stuff like niche edits and guest posts. Get some local links if you can. Get on your social profiles and stuff like that. You can even post on like forums or blogs like around your town yourself, even if you want to, or if you can find a service. But you haven't really had good luck with services this far. And like Nick said, natural anchors only. Get a bunch of branded in there. URL without the HTTP. Some topical stuff, some long tail stuff. Do not do any keyword anchors for now. Just do everything homepage only. And
They'll also, remember you've got a partial match domain, so no matter what, as you're doing branded, you're going to be injecting relevance, which is awesome. We love partial match or exact match domains here.
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, so use that brand name, use that URL, really take advantage of that. I completely spaced on that. Um, all right. How long did
Hey, that was perfect
it was
time.
a little long
We ended
still.
at
It was
25.
faster than the last one,
Uh,
but still pretty long.
well, we called 25 minutes. Didn't we start at 10? It's
15 minutes. Okay, that's pretty
10:25.
good then.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, looks like we got some questions rolling in here. One second. All right, let's go. Um, what do you think about doing a YouTube for SEO? So I'm not a YouTube expert, but as far as I know, SEO for YouTube is completely freaking different, and it's not even really SEO at all. It's all about two things as far as I know, and I'm not an expert, so I'm talking out my ass here. But I do, try to keep tabs on this because we do have the YouTube channel, but we do not like what we're doing with our YouTube channel is just like getting easy traffic because we do these live streams and just cut them up and throw them up there. But it's what
Yeah.
we're doing is not good for YouTube at all, to be completely honest. Um, for YouTube, it's all about clickbait title, a good clickbait thumbnail, and then once they click on your video, keeping them watching the entire video. So making good videos that keep them engaged, keep them watching until the very end. And that's really what YouTube is about. It's a completely different kind of the way it works is completely different from like Google. It's all based on because they have all the information. It's their platform, right? So they have all the information about what people are liking to click, how long they're exactly what parts of the video they're watching, how much they're watching. Then they go and watch more of your videos, all this stuff. And so it's more of like a recommendation engine, and it's just got a lot more going on than, or a lot different stuff going on than Google does. So you could try to get like keywords in there or whatever. But if you look at a lot of these like big YouTube channels and stuff, a lot of times they don't even put like keywords in there, like the YouTube titles and stuff. It's just like pure clickbait. I can't believe he said this. And it'd be like a video about John Mueller. I have a picture of John Mueller on the front with him making a weird face and some crazy background. But it wouldn't even have John Mueller or Google or SEO news or any kind of keyword in the title. And they kill it because it's just completely different as far as how it works. Do you have anything to add on that, Nick?
Well, yeah. So what Chris was just talking about is SEO on the YouTube platform itself. However, if you are trying to rank a YouTube video in Google
Yeah.
SERPs, then it is advantageous to make sure that your title, information within the description of the video, all that stuff is going to help you the same way as you would with
True.
a website, push up there. And then you can use backlinks to influence those rankings as well. However, what you want to do up front is make sure that videos do show up in the top positions of the SERPs that you're trying to go after, right? Now, there's always a videos section for any SERP, and you can go after those using the techniques that we just outlined. But yeah, as far as ranking on YouTube itself, it's a different beast. But ranking a video in Google SERPs is actually, fairly similar to ranking a website as well. So worth noting.
All right. Let's see what we got next. I guess you had follow-ups to that entire platform, like YouTube, Fiverr, where you do SEO work, they behave strange ones. So these platform, I know you might not have a specific answer as you guys are not into YouTube SEO and all, but yeah, understanding the way in which you approach Google SEO will definitely help. Okay, yeah, I think we answered. Let me know if you have any other questions on that recreator guy. Hi, how will you use Web 2.0 backlinks as a foundational strategy, and what all you provide in your service? Like how many pages to create per property, and what content should we use? Wait, so this, okay, so yeah, if I'm building Web 2.0s, I wouldn't build more than like 5 or 10 maximum for a website. You could put I normally don't like to have just like one page of content. If it's a new Web 2.0, I usually don't like to have just like one page of content. I used to like to have at least like 3 or 5 pages on there. Um, and yeah, then I would just link them to the home page as it's a foundational kind of strategy. You're doing the beginning of the ranking process for the site. Like how many pages? Content. And the content should just be content that's kind of related to your niche, right? So if you have a plumbing, your main website's a plumbing website, you could, your Web 2.0s could be anything that's kind of related. They could be about plumbing. They could be about kind of like home stuff, home repair. You just like, home blog type thing. Just think about the types of websites that would link to a plumbing website. Whatever your website's about, just make sure it makes sense that they would link to a site like that. So it could be kind of a broad range of things depending on what your niche is. I'm not really sure if you're asking about our service. We do provide Web 2.0s like in our pillow link packs and diversity link packs, I believe too. But these Web 2.0s are a little bit different because we don't make them brand new for like when you place an order. They're aged Web 2.0s that we've had for a while, and they're like basically like their own little websites, right, with a lot of content on them. So a lot more than 3 or 5 articles. So it's a little bit of a different kind of beast there. If you're talking about like creating your own Web 2.0s versus the Web 2.0s that you can find in some of our link packs. But both kind of have their, they're a little bit different. Of course, ours have been around a lot longer, so they've got a little more power to them and just a lot more content and stuff like that. But if you make your own for your project, then they're going to be a lot more, all the content on the Web 2.0 is going to be like exactly about your topic versus, our Web 2.0s might write about more than one topic. But yeah, I think I covered everything you got there. Do you have anything to add on that, Nick?
No, you covered it. I was going to just go into that too, about our Web 2.0s.
Cool. Let's save this keyword audit for a little bit later. I just want to get some of these questions. We'll come back to that, Nick. And Facebook people will be over there answering questions in just a minute, just one or two more over here. What should be in the backlink strategy if I don't have any real competitors in a local niche, like after building citations? So if you don't have any real competition, you might not really have to build a lot of backlinks. But what you could do is get links from local stuff, like local directories, niche directories. You did your citations, that's good. You could do some blog comments on like local blogs. You could do forum posts or forum comments on local forums. You could even do like outreach to local blogs and stuff. And then you can throw in some other links as well, like the types of links we sell, like guest posts and niche edits. We do not do like super custom stuff for like location. So if you're like, they have to be in Oregon, we don't do that. But like you still want local links, but you could also use some links like the more general guest post type stuff as well, because that, definitely it all helps. What am I missing as far as local links go and he doesn't have much competition? I guess you could do some like Web 2.0s if you feel like it.
I mean, you hit all the main ones, especially with no competition. It's like, if you do your on-page properly, beef out this site, you should really rank probably automatically or very soon with no competition. And then even if you need the boost on the back end, like you said, citations or the free links that you can get in forums, blog comments, etc. A couple guest posts, niche edits here and there couldn't hurt either.
Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't really have to buy too many links if the competition is really low. Like you can, just buy a couple links and point them at your homepage, boost your authority up a little bit, and get a bunch of local stuff as well, and you should be pretty good. Depending on the competition, of course. I'm not really sure what you consider low competition or how in depth you really audited it. If a restaurant also does catering, should I create separate citations for the catering business using other categories, or I shouldn't be building? No, don't build separate citations. It's the same business, right? And so you would create like a services page or something like that, or a catering page, and you could rank that as well. But you don't need to make you don't want to make separate citations for like different pages on the site that are like the same location and the same business essentially. Citations for citations you do for like each location of a business. So they got one location, you just build the citations to that, and they can have multiple different services out of the one location. Have anything to add on that one, Nick?
If you're looking for like, relevant stuff, then for your specific pages, you'd tailor it to each thing. So yeah, citations are like more of a blanket. They're pillow link to the homepage typically. If you're getting guest posts and you're picking, yeah, exactly. If you're getting guest posts, for example, and you're picking the titles, then make it relevant to that specific page, right? That's it.
All right. Any Google My Business suggestions for ranking in the map pack 3 listings versus getting the Google My Business listing to take over the entire sidebar? Any Google My Business suggestions for ranking in the map pack versus getting the Google?
Well, I think that's specific SERP to SERP. Some SERPs are going to show, you as the brand, and they're going to show you here on the side with like, it'll pop up with images, your phone number, etc. And then some SERPs are going to show a variance, like 2 or 3, I think sometimes 4 sites ranking in the map pack right up at the top, right? So it's going to depend on the specific SERP.
I'm a little confused about what he's saying about the sidebar.
When you go into a SERP for like a branded type of thing and it pops up with their brand on the side instead
But for a
of
normal
like,
keyword, that shouldn't happen unless it's Google's making a mistake. It does happen. I know it does. It can happen.
Yeah, it happens.
But
I think I've
it usually
maybe got
kind
an
of gets
example.
fixed. But yeah,
I don't remember it.
Ranking in Google, basically just for local, like what you want to do is, of course, links help. Of course, getting your citations, your NAP correct everywhere is good. Of course, doing all your on-page SEO and having content on your site. And of course, doing all the good on-page interlinking, good headings, all that. All of it is good. But as far as local goes, you really want those citations. You really want reviews. You really want to reviews with keywords in them if possible. You want to reply to the reviews with keywords in them if possible. What am I missing here, Nick?
We're not very proficient in it, pretty lazy about it, but schema markup will help manipulate these things in those local SERPs, which is funny because Pete had asked also, and I guess we'll just toss it in here.
We can make it a separate one.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, schema help you out.
Schema.
I feel like I'm missing something. What are local citations? Get your GMB up. Get your reviews rolling. Backlinks, of course. I think that's it. I just feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, your social profiles. I mean, there's just all the normal stuff, right? Like ranking the GMB and the 3-pack isn't much different from normal SEO. You need the reviews. You got to make sure your GMB, of course, is optimized and everything. Citations and getting some local links when possible, and just backlinks in general. Boosting up your authority a little bit, but the ranking pretty much works the same. It's just like you add on these couple little extra things: the GMB, the reviews, the citations, local links, that kind of thing.
Chris,
what's up?
We lost you there.
Okay.
We lost you for like the last 20 seconds or so.
Really? Hopefully.
And it might still be frozen on Facebook. I'm looking at it. Right now.
Hopefully the stream didn't end. Oh God.
I think did
it?
It's still waiting. It's waiting to resume, it says.
Even if you reload.
Oh, it's dead.
Okay.
Oh, it says live now. Oh no, I just reloaded it.
It looks like it's going now.
I think it's back in live. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that, Facebook people. Internet in this new Airbnb I'm in, and it's kind of crap. But hopefully I'll have better internet in the next one I go to. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and end that one there because I think I was just kind of repeating myself anyway. See what Pete says. Does using schema enhancements help on page much? I'm going to go ahead and say yes, and I'm going to go ahead and say that this is also something that me and Nick are like behind the times on. We'll go ahead and just be completely upfront about that. We're not schema experts. That being said, we rank things quite well without schema. So it makes me wonder how important it really is. I would say for something like e-com, it's probably like, I feel like for like e-com, it'd be like way more important.
See, I was going to say, like what comes to mind is I saw Jason Hennessy the other day had posted like for his name SERPs, they had done some schema markup on the homepage of his website and gotten like just this entire flash of information about him, different images to show up in the SERPs, right? Like a very nice, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like some
kind of panel.
It's almost like a model portfolio or something, right? And so when you're considering like what you could do with like a branded or like your own name as being the brand for a SERP, etc., you can kind of manipulate what someone might find when they get there, which can be of huge value to you, especially if you're a bigger name, right? So that would be one example. And then, I think Chris is right as far as e-com goes, it would help there.
And Pete's site is kind of like e-com, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Now, what I will say is that I spent a long time ago when schema jumped in, like SEO goes in these waves where like, right now it's AI content. At one point in time, it was schema was the new you gotta jump on it situation. I remember diving in pretty heavy. I didn't like how technical it was. I didn't get very proficient at it. But with like my affiliate sites,
it just looks technical though. It's just like code you have to just like inject in your site and like You just have to figure out like what you need for your type of site. Like what are the important like attributes that you want to fill in. So don't let it be like too daunting for you. Don't let us like scare
Yeah.
you too much. It's a best practice. You should do it. You don't do what we're doing on this one, especially for your site, Pete, because I know you're doing the ecom stuff. Um, yeah, it's not too bad. And there's a lot of stuff that like helps you now, like rank math, and
Yeah.
I think even Yoast does some like schema
Well,
stuff
that's
now.
what I was gonna say was like I feel like Yoast has enough functionality that I don't have to worry about, and I'm sure Rank Math does too. But I'll get a lot of the schema markup benefits in SERPs with a lot of my affiliate sites. So
Yeah, at the
for
end of the
me, it
day,
came down to that. Like, am I getting traffic? Am I converting traffic? And do I want to focus on that or do I want to focus on something else? You know, SEO can get blown out. You can do any number of things, but you're only going to have a finite amount of time.
yeah, see that's a
Would it be better to have that in SOP? Most likely,
so
yeah.
like schema is just to help make it easier for Google, which is always a good
Yeah.
thing, but it's not like for a lot of stuff like Nick was saying, you can get like the schema benefits without even doing the schema if you just like make your website easy for Google to understand and they find that information anyways. But best practice, do the schema, learn to do it. It's not that bad. And just make it part of the process for putting up any page on your website, your product pages, all that good stuff. All right. See what we got here. Do you look at SEMrush toxicity score when buying expired domains? We do not look at SEMrush toxicity score ever. It's not a metric we ever look at. We have other videos on this, I believe, so I won't bash on it too hard right now. But we feel there's just we feel there's a lot of like misunderstanding in the community as far as backlinks go, but especially these like toxicity scores. Um, it's better to be able to look at things yourself and understand that this toxicity, like in a way, like the way Google's moving now with backlinks is just to ignore the stuff that they think is like spam or like manipulative. It's not saying that you can't trigger a manual review and get like link building penalties, but I feel like it's harder to get link building penalties now unless you're doing some like crazy shit. Would you say that's about right, Nick?
Seems that way,
Like I
yeah.
feel like unless you're like going crazy with PBNs and exact match anchors and just really going like
Yeah,
really
hard
hard,
footprints.
like it's kind of difficult to get hit by something what and there not be anything else that's like contributing to this, like just like links alone. Um, but anyway, we don't look at SEMrush toxicity ever, not just buying expired domains. We're on Ahrefs, and Ahrefs doesn't have a toxicity score as far as I know, and even if they did, I wouldn't look at it. Um, but yeah, Nick, why don't you go ahead and tell them what you do look at when you're buying expired domains?
Well, first I want to say that maybe SEM, I'm not very familiar with it, toxicity score on SEM Rush. I don't like toxicity scores. Chris knows, like what he was just talking about. However, maybe if I'm blanketing, so I'm using like Register Compass or Spamzilla to hunt domains, obviously I'm going to be going through a ton of data, thousands of domains when I'm hunting domains, right? So I need to find broad metrics that I can rely on, that I can digest from a broad perspective, and then I can dive deeper into them, right? The main ones that I like when I'm looking that up, and I'd love to use Ahrefs, but the way that the API works with that is just too expensive to do it. So for me, if I'm looking at a large amount of domains, domain data for the purpose of buying domains, the ones that I like to look at are Majestic, Trust Flow, and Citation Flow. Because I feel like I can give a decent marker there. Now, I don't take it very seriously. I don't care if I see something that's got an insane amount of referring domains and maybe some other interesting looking stuff like Spamzilla has a toxicity score, And even though it's wrong a lot, if I'm looking at all these different variables and I see something that kind of just catches my eye, then I'll dive into it a little bit deeper. So before I say just completely ignore that metric, maybe dive into it a little bit and see what you can find. But the only way you're really going to know whether it's valuable to you or not is if you know how to also inspect all the other um, metrics in conjunction with that one, right? If you're only focused on one thing, especially something that's considered a spam score, it's probably going to screw you up. Anybody that I've ever known that's come up and been like, oh, well, this has a Moz spam score of whatever, they didn't know what the hell they were doing. They were hoping there was like this, magic metric that just tells you whether something's valuable or not. And unfortunately, there is nothing like that. Even if you were looking at Ahrefs, which is our preferred, data aggregator for the purposes of SEO, the first audit we did today was highly manipulated very quickly, more than I had seen in a long time. So, you've got to be able to go through the motions and actually inspect, all these different things. So I know it's not a very clear cut and dry answer, but if you're hunting domains, you need to be able to look at multiple variables from a broad perspective and then understand how to tailor that thing or those variables down so that you can find the domains worth buying.
Yeah, domain hunting is very hard. You have to look at a bunch of stuff and really understand it, and it's a lot more like nuanced and complicated than any like little score that any of the tools are going to give you. You really have to dig a little bit deeper and really know what you're looking at. That being said, check out Sir Links-a-Lot expired domains. We've got the best expired domains on the market up on our website.
They are so fucking cheap in comparison to anybody else I've looked at.
True.
And the reason is because like vast majority of them were collected a long while ago. So we've kind of just had them sitting in our archives and they're priced from, how they were priced years ago. Gosh, maybe I'll get in there and start upping prices. I don't know, guys. Might want to scoop some shit up. But on the real, like, I'm not tooting our own horn. We really do have cheap prices on quality domains.
All right.
I imagine if I was hunting more regularly now, which I usually only do for my own personal assets, the prices are just ridiculously high, especially if you don't really know how to hunt for them, because a lot of times you'll find better deals on more nuanced metrics and variables that people aren't using.
All right, here we go. Can I get link juice from 301 redirect if the website is in a different language?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. It'd be better if it wasn't, probably. But
probably.
But you never really know.
It depends on the TLD and stuff too. It's like because an international corporation hypothetically could buy, like, let's say they're based in the U.S. and they buy something in Mumbai, like a company in Mumbai, and take it over. Yeah. That's a normal situation that can happen. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, it can work.
In general, I'll just add that it's best if you get as close to everything as possible to what the new website is going to be about. Meaning, you want the language to be the same, you want the niche to be as close as possible, you want the backlinks that are coming to the site to make sense for whatever the new website or business is going to be. The closer the better. You can start getting away from the niche and farther out, but hopefully it would be like an apparent niche versus something that's just like completely unrelated. Just much higher chance of things working correctly the closer things are. But it can work. It can work, but you don't really know.
While we're on the subject of 301s, because they come up a lot, 301s are, if you've watched old videos, 301s are not how they used to be. You don't just add them and get quick ultra gains. It almost never happens like that in recent history. You got to leave it there. You kind of just have to ignore it once you set it all up. You can build inner pages. We've got a lot of different stuff. If you just search in Sir Links-a-Lot, a lot of information on 301 redirects. But you want to keep your regular SEO campaign going alongside that 301. It's the days of just 301ing a domain and getting massive rankings in like a month or two. It's just not there the same way. You got to manipulate a lot more stuff.
All right.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for the first time at the end of the damn show. We really appreciate
Like, comment,
it.
subscribe.
Thank
We
you.
also got 10% off niche edits all month. Code NE10,
That's right.
NE10 when checking out for 10% off contextual link insertions for about 5 or 6 more days. All right. Hello, Nick. What makes the PBN so powerful? How is that difference than a website I bought from expired or aged domain? Is the power coming from the homepage? Second part is, how is a homepage PBN different from a homepage website backlink? All right, I'll let you answer this because it was addressed to you.
All right. So a PBN, private blog network, right, is either a site or a group of sites that you have specifically to manipulate the homepage and send a backlink back to your asset that you're trying to rank. Now, why do they choose the homepage? Well, historically, PBNs are bought with majority of the power going to the homepage. So majority of the backlinks are referring domains pointing to the homepage of that site you bought to use as a point of manipulation for rankings. Now, not all websites operate that way. Some websites, when you're hunting domains, have majority of the backlinks going to inner pages, but predominantly, when you think about a homepage, you're considering the homepage because it's got all the power, all the link juice, or majority of it going to the homepage of that site, right? So hypothetically, then a link on that page that's powered up, typically the homepage, is going to pass way more link juice. Now, if you look at a PBN and then you look at a website like Business Insider, they're blog rolls, right? So blog rolls are very common all across the internet. There's countless websites like that. What separates them is the quality of the content, the amount of content that gets pumped through, all the distractions that Chris is showing me right now.
This is a site audit.
Is
Yeah.
it really? I was
You better
like,
hurry up with this question.
how
We can
is
audit
he?
this site.
Oh my gosh. It's adult based for those of you that didn't realize. I just had a wall of stuff going and I'm like, stay focused, stay focused. Um, that's funny. So yeah, where things get tricky is PBNs, and I don't want to say they're not as powerful as they used to be, but you need content kind of pumping through them for them to stay relevant in the SERPs. And even then, there's just a lot of different variables that you're going to have to manipulate to make sure that they do pass all that juice. One of them is how long they stay up in the SERPs, right? So like how long the PBN has been up itself. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities between a website and a PBN. I mean, like they're the same thing. They're blog rolls, but that's why majority of the power comes off the homepage. Let me reread this question real quick. Well, yeah. So I mean, I think that basically covers the question. They technically are the same thing. It's just one is 100% being used to manipulate Google search data, right? So like, with a regular website, you don't have to worry about whether you've got a bunch of footprints showing up on another website, etc. But if you've built 10 websites out for the purpose of manipulating backlink data, then you've got to worry about your plugins. You've got to worry about the type of content, the outbound links, the inbound links, the interlinking, and all these different things that can become a footprint that then tell Google, okay, this network only exists to manipulate this one asset, right? And it's actually not that hard, to figure out as a human or as a robot. But yeah, that's the difference, really. I don't know if I can answer anything else more specifically for you, but yeah.
All right. You ready to do an audit? We're gonna do a quick one.
I feel it. Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Here. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like I'm like, did I even answer that fucking
I
question?
don't know.
Because I
I
was,
was too
you know,
focused on this audit, if you know what I mean.
I'm sorry, blame Chris if yeah,
Here, I'm putting
blame
a
Chris.
space in the thing because I don't think it's gonna let me send it to you.
Okay.
Um, all right, guys, give me 1 second. I'll get a screenshot of the traffic up for you.
That is a big old website.
All right.
63,000 indexed pages.
Yeah, it's only got 429 referring domains, about 500 referring domains, DR30, and it looks like it went up from about 30K traffic down to almost zero.
Mm.
And it is a very adult niche site. And yeah, it's a massive site. How many URLs did you say there were?
63,000 indexed in Google.
Gotcha.
Which is I mean, that sounds healthy.
That's a lot.
Now, based on I know I'm going to jump a little bit here, but based on Ahrefs, we'll see that they had a hard spike from end of July, let's say, 22 to October 22. And I mean, like, just
they went
straight up,
out of
right?
nowhere. Yeah.
So, that can be done a bunch of different ways.
So
but it looks like, yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna interrupt you real quick, and just while we're on the same thought, because I was looking at this, I kind of cheated because I wanted to get it over quick.
Nice.
While you were doing the last answer,
Yeah.
but I went into so what I think they did is they just got a bunch of backlinks, and they spammed the crap out of their site very quickly. Let's go ahead and confirm that real quick. If you go into the backlink profile graph. Yep, all their links came, so they went from 13 links to 450 links in a very short amount of time, basically.
Yeah, they're doing Google
Basically,
spam.
within a couple months.
Yeah.
And so I just went into backlinks really quick, and I was like, okay, well, so you're looking on the left side, and it's all these like Google redirect stuff, like, I'm talking about the Google redirect crap that people do. Then you got some stuff that looks relevant, bunch of like foreign language stuff, but all of this stuff looks like kind of relevant for an adult site, right? But then I went up to the top and I was like, all right, let's filter the crap out. So I'm turning on the filter. Do follow, backlink type in content. So these are, I'm looking for contextual links. DR, or we're just going to say above a DR of 5, which is pretty low. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go ahead and click exclude subdomains. So like no Web 2.0s essentially. And I'm going to hit show results. So we go from 500 links to 6.
Yep.
He's got out of that spam blast that he did, he's got 6 backlinks that are basically worth anything.
So you're pillowed up, but yeah, then you kind of just stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say, right? Because like adult, I feel like you can get away with quite a bit more spam. So I'm saying pillowed up. I mean, it's probably not the route I would have taken, but I think, like if this was my site, I saw I had 63,000 indexed pages. I'm guessing this is probably worth quite a bit of money, token based and stuff. Then I'd probably go ahead and I'd spend a good amount of money on some high-end links. And I just see where prodding with that goes, because on page wise, I'm going to say that this is a pretty healthy site.
I'm not even going to begin to audit that.
No, I don't know where to start, and automatically I'm just like, this is making single me just too excited on the live stream. I need to go work out. This is bad.
Oh God.
But yeah, I would focus on higher quality links. I mean, like the main place I would think that you're lacking here is that you did some spammy link
They
blasting
did a
early
spammy
on
link
and then just
blast,
kind of
and there's just
stopped.
nothing good in there. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing that's, above DR5 that's a do follow contextual link. That's not a Web 2.0. It's just,
No.
they did all the stupid Google redirect stuff and all that. It's just,
No,
you have a
great.
massive website and you blasted it with spam and it shot up, and then Google was like, nah.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is what you see a lot of the time that happens with this stuff. Sometimes it
Which,
lasts for longer. In your case, not so much. It just Google got over it real fast. But yeah, I
I
would.
mean, maybe you sort of robbed the bank with it, so to speak, and that you got a lot of traffic real quick and made a lot of money real quick. But with an asset like this, which is just so immensely large and worth quite a lot of money, it's like, dude, sorry if I'm being too forward here, but quit being a cheap ass and start getting yourself the links that are going to get you back into traffic, because this is a money maker, I'm guessing. Now,
Could be at
maybe
least.
you've got like 50 of these sites, right? I don't know what your plan is, but if you don't want to work on this one anymore, maybe I'll consider buying it or something. That's exactly what I need.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need, Nick.
Yeah.
All right, guy. I think we got one more question real quick. We'll answer it, and then we'll go ahead and take off. Let's see what we got here. How do I test if an expired domain was penalized? If it was penalized a long time ago, is it possible I can still use it as a PBN and still pass link juice? So there's no way to know unless you have like Search Console access. There's no way to know if it was actually penalized. But of course, you can look it up. Look up the history and Ahrefs or whatever, and just see if it looks like it got hit with a penalty at any point in time. Um,
You can also do the search operators. So you're looking for branded in search, and then you're looking for branded, and then you leave the dot out and whatever the TLD is, and see if it doesn't
it's an
pop up.
expired
That'll
though,
be an
so I'm guessing it's
indicator.
not up.
Oh,
Well, it
if
could.
it's
It
not in the
could. Yeah.
SERPs at all. But the thing is, especially if let's say it's been dormant for years, right? Like, so you're looking in archive.org and like 6 years ago it was a PBN and then it just went dead and it's been dormant since then. You picked it up for $10. Yeah, you can reuse it. I've never had a domain and I'm saying like a while back or used for nefarious purposes that you couldn't get. Like, remember when you buy a domain, the registrant is going to change. It's going to show like new registration. That's going to be cataloged by Google. So essentially, it can be sort of like a start over. And even with like old PBNs that I'd had before, that would get popped, you can leave them sitting in that registrar on a parking page for a long period of time, move it to a new, so just send it to a new registrar and then, restart from there. But it shows, that jump from registrar to registrar. It's probably a new owner. These things happen and you can start over. But I think proximity to how recently it was popped, is going to be an issue as well. So if it's expired, it got popped like 2 months ago, and you can't figure that out, which you would do with Search Console, like Chris said, um, then yeah, that's something you can look into.
But yeah, you're definitely going to want
But
to get it kind of up and going and looking healthy again before linking out with it as
I
a
wasn't.
PBN.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now, and I'm like, okay, well, so also I was kind of thinking of it as like repurposing it for a money site or something.
Yeah.
So if you're going to repurpose it for the purpose of a PBN, you
It's a
just want
lot
to
of
make sure
work for a
again,
PBN.
a lot of work, yeah.
Like you gotta
Um,
buy it, you gotta like give it some love. You're gonna have to build some
Let it
new links to
sit.
it. You're gonna have to put some new content on it. You're basically gonna have to like so if it was like a money site, I feel like it'd be more worth it because it's like,
Yes.
you're actually going to be spending a lot of time on this thing. Versus like a PBN, the last thing you want to do is have to like go do a bunch of shit just to
Yeah.
get it healthy enough to start linking out to. And then it might not even still be, it's still kind of
Yeah.
like iffy, right?
Or
I'd
it
probably
won't
just
kick
like
in for like a
next it.
year. Hmm.
to be honest. But what do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I would too. Unless it's just been dormant for a long period of time,
Mm.
and then honestly, it's fine. Now you're not going to want to throw it into Search Console if you're going to use it for a PBN, because then it can muddy up the waters for other money assets that you've got in Search Console, unless you're very advanced and have different Search Consoles or like ways to kind of inspect those things.
Alrighty. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for today. Remember, we've got niche edits on sale for 6 more days. It's contextual link insertions on real websites. They're one of the most powerful kinds of backlinks out there. 10% off. Use code NE10 when checking out. What else we got? Like, comment, subscribe. We love you. Join us on
Member of the month.
Facebook. Yeah, join us on Facebook group SEO Roundtable. We're in there every day answering questions and posting tips and all that. And yeah, at the end of the month, like every other month, we're going to be giving away our $200 backlink prize for the most active member. We do that every single month, so definitely be sure to get in the Facebook group. What else we got? That's pretty much it. You can subscribe to our newsletter too. We'll love you extra if you do that.
Yeah. We need all the help we can get. You guys saw
Do all the
how
things.
little we plug anything. Again, please tell your friends, family, and whoever else, get in here, start watching the show, start reading the blog post, start experimenting with SEO, getting a taste of the successful life you can have with the power of SEO at your fingertips through Sir
Wow.
Links-a-Lot.
I'm excited. I'm
Uh,
motivated. All right, Pete. We'll see you next week, bud. All right, everybody. Thanks
yep.
for watching. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. 10 a.m. I guess we should change all the things to say 10 a.m. Anyway,
Oh,
10
yeah.
a.m. on Wednesday, Central Standard Time.